Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over the 5 reasons you should buy and the 5 reasons you should not buy a Hyundai Genesis Coupe. In case you're new here, the way this series works is we do one good thing, like one reason you should buy the car, one reason you shouldn't, one reason you should, until we get to 10 total, and then at the end of the video I tell you my final thoughts on whether or not I think you should buy the car, just my final thoughts on the car. But obviously I have never owned one of these cars before, and so whenever it comes to these videos, I always go off of just internet opinions or just common, knowledge when it comes to these cars. So with that being said, if you or somebody you know have ever owned one of these cars, a Hyundai Genesis Coupe, by all means, please do not be afraid to leave a comment down below if you think there's something I missed or you think I got something incorrect or whatever. The comments are always open. Despite what people may think, I do not like spreading misinformation, so I would greatly appreciate it. And by the way, this is going to be the Genesis Coupe BK1 and BK2. All right, so we're doing both of them, and it's both the 2.0T and the 3.0 or 3.8 liter V6 as well. All right, just so we're aware, we're on the same page. All right. Either way, media of the day is Arc Raiders. It is this new multiplayer game that has like absolutely broke the internet, and for the first time ever, I played it last night, and I actually had a much more enjoyable experience than I thought I would. I thought I would hate it, and I actually kind of like it. I don't love it. I'm not like itching to play it more or whatever, but I had a good time. I'm looking forward to playing it with my buddies. So if you're interested in a new multiplayer game to maybe play with your friends or whatever, Arc Raiders is a good one. But without further ado, let's go right into the 5 reasons you should buy and the 5 reasons you should not buy a Hyundai Genesis Coupe. And reason number 1 why I think you should buy a Hyundai Genesis Coupe is simply put the pricing of them. As we're going to talk about today in today's video, these cars' performance numbers are controversial. Like, some people like them because they have really good performance out of the gate, like stock performance is really good, but then some people hate them because they want to modify the car and get a lot more horsepower out of it, and they don't really do that too well. However, there's no denying the fact that what you're getting is around a 300 horsepower, depending on which one you get, obviously, rear-wheel drive, good-looking manual coupe for like $5,000. Like, you can find a BK1 for $5,000 all day long. BK2s are going to be closer to like $8K, but even that is very, very well worth the price for what you're getting. It is very slept on, very underrated, and there's other reasons why people like to try and stay away from these cars. And so because of all that stuff, they're much cheaper than, in my opinion, they probably should be. However, one of those reasons as to why they are so cheap is simply put their reliability. Yeah, the reason number 1 why I think you should not buy a Hyundai Genesis Coupe is because they aren't the most reliable cars out there, both in terms of modifying them and tuning potential and stuff like that, and also just in terms of stock reliability rating. It's not like unbearably bad. It's not like a Chevy Cruze or something. Like, you can get miles out of it, don't get me wrong, but there's just so many of these freaking things that are blown up. Like, these cars blow up all the freaking time, man. It's just risky, and it's kind of the problem with buying any sort of Korean car, Hyundai or Kia car, because they just really do not know how to make a reliable car just yet. They're working on it, and they're getting better as time goes on, but unfortunately the Genesis Coupe is just not there. It's kind of like a ticking time bomb. However, reason number 2 why I think you should buy a Hyundai Genesis Coupe, again, we talked about earlier when talking about the price already, but it is the fact that they are rear-wheel drive and a manual transmission. It's 2026, y'all. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. It's 2026, and as far as I can tell, there's like 2 brands that are still making rear-wheel drive manual cars. BMW and Nissan, and that's literally it. I can't think of another company out there that's doing it still. Maybe Mustang is still manual. I couldn't tell you, but like, this is a relatively modern car that has a manual transmission and is rear-wheel drive. I know some people out there are fans of front-wheel drive, some people are fans of all-wheel drive, to each their own, but to me personally, and to a lot of other car enthusiasts out there, rear-wheel drive with the manual transmission is the perfect package, the perfect combo, and the Genesis Coupe comes with both those things. That's just fun, and it's just always going to be fun. Again, though, reason number 2 why I think you should not buy a Jenny. That's what they're called. That's what the cool kids call them, Jennies. Reason number 2 is the tuning potential. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier when talking about the overall reliability of the car. But yeah, if the stock reliability of the car didn't scare you away from it, well, adding any sort of power to it just automatically just sends it to an early death. Like, it hates it. It is allergic to horsepower gains. Both the 3.8 liter V6 and the 2.0 turbo both do not like horsepower gains. You have to spend a ridiculous amount of money just to get these cars to around 400, 500 horsepower, and then at that point you got to open up the motor and start to build the motor, or else the car's just going to blow up. It is unfortunate, to say the least, but yeah, they are not. If you're looking for a project car to build up on a budget, like, there are 20 times better options. Like, yeah, you save money on the car when you first buy it because they are really cheap. Again, you can find one for like $5,000, but the money you save from that is going to be thrown right out the window the second you start to try and add performance to it. With that being said, though, reason number 3 why I think you should buy a Jenny is because of the aftermarket support. So even though I literally just said 2 seconds ago that these cars don't like to handle power that well, that doesn't mean that that's because of a lack of trying. Like, companies absolutely made tons of aftermarket parts for these cars to try your best to turn your Jenny Coupe into your own. And tons of people bought them, tons of people tried making it into their own, and these cars were modified a good amount in the car community. And so there is a ridiculous amount of aftermarket support out there for you. Is it going to be as good as something like a Civic or like a S chassis? Obviously not. You don't have as many options as those cars, unfortunately, but it is still better than you would expect for a Hyundai, at least. Like, this is a company that was making nothing cool before this car came out. So it's actually pretty impressive the amount of options you have when it comes to aftermarket tuning stuff. However, reason number 3 why I think you should not buy a Jenny Coupe, the old Jenny Poop, is simply put the interior quality. It looks pretty decent at first. There's pictures. I've actually driven a Jenny Coupe before. I took it on a test drive. I was planning on buying one, but then I ended up not. But I took it on a test drive one time, and I actually, wasn't like, oh my god, this is the ugliest interior I've ever seen. It wasn't anything special. It's a 2010s interior. It's exactly what you would expect a 2010s interior to look like. But the quality of the parts in it, the plastics and stuff like that, are commonly complained about by owners. It's just everything creaks, everything cracks, nothing really lines up correctly. Everything ends up breaking or snapping or just not working the way it's supposed to. It's unfortunate, but again, you got to keep in mind that this whole thing was that it was an affordable sports car, and it truly is an affordable sports car. So you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to interior quality on these cars, and it wouldn't be something that would scare me away, but maybe somebody is really looking for a really high-end, classy interior, and that is not what this car offers. If you want that, though, the regular Genesis, like the Genesis G70s, not the Coupes, do have pretty decent interiors for a Korean car, at least. But there is a good thing about the interior. Reason number 4 why I think you should buy a Jenny Coupe is the interior space, or cabin space, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, again, the interior quality isn't the greatest or whatever, but I, as a 6'1" fella, and my buddy, who is a 6'1" fella as well, but weighs 230 pounds of pure muscle, went in to look at this car together. And he was in the passenger seat, and not once did our elbows touch on the armrest, not once did I complain about the legroom. It had a lot of cabin space. My head felt like it wasn't about to hit the ceiling. It was surprising, actually, for a coupe. And on top of that, it is technically a 4-seater. It does have back seats in it. Now, we didn't get in the back seat, so I couldn't tell you whether or not the back seats are actually worth a damn. 9 times out of 10, these coupes, the back seats are, you could fit like a 6-year-old back there, but that's about it. So most likely that's not that great. But in terms of like you as an owner of it, driving it, I don't think many people are going to be uncomfortable in their Genesis Coupe. You'll have plenty of space in the cabin. But staying on the topic of space, reason number 4 why I think you should not buy a Jenny Coupe is actually the cargo space. So again, there's 2 big differences here. One car, like, as a matter of fact, my Integra has pretty decent cargo space. The trunk is like, it's a hatchback technically, so the hatch opens up and gives you a lot of room. I have coilovers back there. I have a whole PC back there. Like, I got plenty of room back there, and I can still fit like a tire or 2 back there. But the cabin space on my Integra absolutely sucks and is miserable to own as a 6'1" fella. But this is like the opposite with the Jenny Coupe. The cargo space is absolutely horrible. Apparently everybody out there says that you can't fit anything in this car's trunk. Absolutely nothing. You couldn't fit a freaking Call of Duty Black Ops 2 disc in the trunk of this car, unfortunately. But the cabin space makes up for it, and you have a lot of room as a person. So if you kind of have to think about that for a second. Are you going to be transporting things around a lot? Well, if not, then it shouldn't be the biggest deal. But if you plan on doing that, it's not the car for you. And reason number 5 why I think you should buy a Jenny Coupe. Again, we kind of talked about this earlier when it came to the price of it, but it is the stock performance. We talked about the tuning potential earlier and how these cars really don't like to handle power, and that is true. If you're the type of guy that's looking for something that makes 600, 700 horsepower and is fast as hell, fun as hell, unlike anything else on the road, this is not the car for you, unfortunately. However, if you are the type of guy that's looking to buy something and just have a lot of fun right out of the get-go, and you don't really care about building a ton of power on it, you want something that's going to stay relatively reliable, and just, you don't have to put a ton of money into it to have fun, then the Jenny Coupe is perfect for you. It really is, because the stock performance on these cars obviously differs heavily depending on whether it's a BK1 or a BK2, and whether it comes with a 2.0T or the 3.8 liter. But no matter which one you end up getting, even if you get the slowest version from factory, which is a 2.0 turbo BK1, you'll still have 210 horsepower. Like, you're still going to have a pretty decent amount of power for a rear-wheel drive car. And if you get the best one, which is a 3.8 liter V6 BK2, you'll have 350 horsepower going to the rear wheels, which for like $8,000 is insanely good. Like, that's almost unmatched, honestly. The stock performance for the price you're paying is incredible. However, reason number 5 why I think you should not buy a Genesis Coupe, a Hyundai Genesis Coupe, is simply put the sound of the cars and the looks of the cars. I decided to put these together because they're both kind of personal opinion. They both are things that it's like, it depends on the person, you know what I mean? Like, I personally don't think they sound that bad, and as you guys know, I am a big fan of how the Genesis Coupe looks, actually. But there have been a ton of people I've seen online say that the car sounds horrible and that it looks horrible. So this is obviously 100% up to you. And so I decided to put it here in the not why category. But if you like the looks and you like the sound of it, then this deserves to be a reason why you should buy the car, obviously. This one's obviously very divisive, and it's 100% just personal opinion up to the person trying to buy the car. Plain and simple. So my final thoughts, though. Do I, Mark Roden, the guy who's never owned a Hyundai Genesis Coupe, think that you, the viewer of this video, the guy who's looking to buy a Genesis Coupe, think you should buy one? Well, I don't think you should take my word for it. I think you should do a whole lot more research and ask actual owners whether or not you think you should buy one. But I think you should get one if you're looking for a fun little rear-wheel drive car that's not going to break the bank, but that's about it. If you plan on getting a daily driver, or the complete opposite of a daily driver, a full-time project car with lots of potential to turn it into something crazy, then no, I don't think it's a good idea. It's not a good daily. It doesn't have enough space. It's not the most reliable car out there, and it's pretty low slung and low to the ground, and it's rear-wheel drive, so if you live in an area that has winter, it's horrible for daily driving, and it's not the best for making insane power. It fits a very, very small niche category of individuals where if you are looking, again, for something that is just, you want to have a fun, maybe like, think of it like a little weekend car, I guess. A fun weekend car. You can go out with your buddies sometimes, do some donuts, do some burnouts, carve up the back roads or whatever, and you don't want to break the bank doing it. This is an interesting option, and I think you should at least look into them a little bit. But anybody else, I don't know. It's questionable at best, but I think there are better options for both other sides of the category. There are better daily drivers out there, and there are better project cars out there. But with that being said, they are super cool, and I've always kind of wanted one anyways, so if you do end up getting one, send me a picture of it because I like them a lot and I kind of want one. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on the 5 reasons you should and the 5 reasons you should not buy a Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what reviews you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that mumbo jumbo. And yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. I also hope you guys are still enjoying this series. It doesn't really get like the craziest views, but if I'm being honest, my channel doesn't get crazy views anymore anyways. YouTube's algorithm hates me because of me. It's not because of the YouTube algorithm. It's because I wasn't consistent. I started like to only upload like on random times at random days because my stress was going so bad, and so I couldn't really like stay on track anymore. I couldn't really like stay disciplined. And so I started to just miss uploads that I shouldn't have missed, and that the YouTube algorithm hates that. And so because of that, I've lost the algorithm's like praise, and so I don't get it doesn't get pushed out to anybody anymore. So even though the views might not look the best, they're actually not that bad when you compare them to my other videos, just because again, my videos right now are just not doing great. Not your guys' fault, not YouTube's fault, nobody's fault but my own. 100% accountability taken over here. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. And on top of that, the only videos that do well on this channel still are the freaking cheap cars videos, which I don't mind making the cheap cars videos, don't get me wrong. I just don't want to make them as much as I used to. Like back in the day, like 2 or 3 years ago, dude, it was like literally every other Mark Roden upload was a cheap car video. It was ridiculous. I mean, I couldn't stop talking about cheap cars for God knows what reason. It was over the top. It was plain and simple over the top. But I was chasing those wonderful views and subscriber count numbers, so I cared a lot about that. But nowadays, I got other means for cashola cheddar, if you will. So I'm just yapping about the most random things right now. I gotta stop, dude. I need to get like ADD, ADHD, whatever medication. That's what I need. That's what I should look into doing, because I've always had a bad ADHD, but it's kind of getting in the way of the YouTube videos, I feel like sometimes. I gotta start yapping. Like this outro is 2 minutes long already, and it absolutely should not be. There's no reason for this outro to be 2 minutes long. But anyways, as I was saying, I hope you guys are still enjoying the 5 reasons you should and 5 reasons you should not. And if you guys are interested in more videos similar to this, by all means, recommend your car in the comment section below. Usually that's how I get most of my cars that I end up doing one of these on. The next one is going to be on the, oh my god, I just got the background clips for it. What was, oh, the SN95 Mustangs / New Edge Mustangs. But after that, I'll absolutely be looking into other cars to do, so let me know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Badanya, and have a nice night.